A few days ago, while I was working on a project, my drill completely gave up on me. When I pulled the trigger under load, I noticed 3 big red flags. The torque is weak, bright blue sparks started flashing through the vents, and I got a strong, nasty, burnt electrical smell. Instead of throwing it away and spending money on a brand new tool, I decided to pull it apart and replace the motor myself. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through how I diagnosed the issue and replace the motor step by step so you can fix yours too. So what actually happened inside my drill? When these 3 symptoms happen together, weak power, arcing sparks, and a burnt smell, it almost always means the internal motor is cooked. The sparks and smell. The carbon brushes inside the motor have worn down completely, or the rotor windings got so hot that the copper wire coating started melting. The weak torque. Because those internal electrical contacts are damaged, the motor can't draw enough current to turn the planetary gears under heavy load. Once it gets to this point, cleaning it won't save it. The entire DC motor core needs to be swapped. First thing I always do before touching anything internal, I remove the battery pack so there's 0 chance of accidentally shorting something or spinning the chuck. Next, I'm removing all the screws holding the 2 clamshell halves together. Quick tip from experience. Check under any stickers on the back or grip area if the casing isn't popping open easily. Once all screws are out, I carefully pry the top casing half off. Now that we're inside, I can see the whole layout. Battery contacts at the bottom, variable speed trigger, and reverse switch in the middle. And our burnt 550 motor connected to the planetary gearbox. Before touching or lifting a single wire, here's my top golden rule. Grab your phone and snap a clear photo of the entire internal setup. Having a visual reference for wire placement, switch orientation, and exact mechanical seating saves a massive headache during reassembly. Now, to disconnect the motor from the gearbox, give the gearbox assembly a firm turn counterclockwise to unlock it from the motor collar. Once that unlocks and pulls free, you'll see the front face of the motor. There are 2 small machine screws securing the mounting plate to the motor body. Use a screwdriver to remove both of these screws. Keep them safe in your tray as we'll need them to secure our new motor. Set your soldering iron to temperature and let it heat up fully. Touch the hot tip directly to the old solder joints on the burnt motor to melt the tin. As soon as the solder flows, gently pull the red positive wire free, then repeat for the black negative wire. Now grab your new motor and tin the fresh terminal tabs with a small dab of solder to make the connection quick and clean. Line up your power leads. The red wire attaches to the positive terminal marked with the small red dot, and the black wire goes to the negative terminal. Solder both connections thoroughly, making sure the joints are smooth, shiny, and strong so they won't vibrate loose when the drill is running. With the wiring done, slide the mounting plate back over the motor shaft, align the screw holes, drop in your 2 mounting screws, and snug them down evenly. You want these nice and tight so the motor stays perfectly aligned inside the housing. Now, before locking everything together, apply a fresh dab of grease directly into the metal planetary gears to keep them running smooth and quiet. Align the motor with the gearbox, press them together, and twist clockwise until it firmly locks into place. Now comes assembly. I quickly check my reference photo to double-check wire routing and switch positions, then lay the new drivetrain, trigger, and battery contacts back into their molded slots inside the left shell. Something I always pay close attention to here, wire routing. You want to make sure no wires are sitting on top of the screw posts or pinched between the plastic halves, or you'll crush them when you tighten the body. I align the reverse switch lever into its notch, snap the right half of the casing back on, and drive all the housing screws back in. All right, moment of truth. I'm sliding my battery pack back in. Look at that. Smooth power, variable speed works perfectly. Zero smoke, and no crazy sparks coming out of the vents. To top it off, I've got full driving torque back. Fixing my own drill took me under 20 minutes and saved me from buying a whole new toolkit. If this guide helped you fix your drill, give the video a like and hit subscribe for more DIY repairs on my channel. Drop any questions you have in the comments below and I'll catch you in the next build.